Listen here, sweetheart. I don't know what ghetto you crawled out of, but on my flight, you follow my rules. Crack. Audrey Hayes's palm struck across Dr. Alara Vance's face with a sound that silenced the entire cabin. The tablet crashed from Alara's hands. Her reading glasses flew off, skittering under seat 13A. Gasps echoed through the ether wings plane. Audrey towered over her victim, finger jabbing downward. That's what happens when you people don't listen the first time. Scattered papers floated to the floor. Executive documents marked Ether Wings Board Meeting Confidential. A gold badge glinted among the debris, clearly corporate-level identification. Alara touched her stinging cheek, completely calm. Her voice carried through the shocked silence. Thank you, Audrey. You just made this very simple. Have you ever been so utterly humiliated that your first instinct was revenge, but you chose something far more devastating instead? This happened exactly 10 minutes ago on Flight 808 to Denver. Let me tell you what led to that slap point 30 minutes earlier. Dr. Alara Vance stepped on her own aircraft, Etherwings Flight 808, dressed in faded jeans and a simple hoodie. As CEO, she conducted monthly mystery passenger evaluations, experiencing her airline through customers' eyes. Today's test would cost more than she ever imagined. Her boarding pass showed Seat 2A first class, but she'd requested 14C in coach. Real-life stories like these revealed more about company culture than any executive report. Flight attendant Audrey Hayes approached with practiced authority. Excuse me, your ticket says 2A, but you're sitting in 14C, trying to upgrade yourself without paying. Alara looked up from her tablet, displaying quarterly reports she'd been reviewing. I requested this seat change. My boarding pass is right here. Honey, I've seen every scam. Audrey's voice carried across nearby rows. You people always try to game the system somehow. The businessman in 13A, Gregory Sloan, nodded approvingly. He'd noticed Alara's appearance when she boarded, torn sneakers, discount hoodie, braided hair that screamed urban. Ma'am, I have my confirmation right here. Alara reached for her phone. Audrey snatched the device away. Passengers like you can't afford to replace airline property when you break it. In row 15B, college student Lena Cruz started live, streaming on TikTok. Y'all watch this flight attendant profile, this black woman. This is crazy. Her viewer count climbed 50, 85, 127. Alara remained composed. I understand there's confusion, but if you check my boarding pass... Stop lying. Audrey's voice rose sharply. I know troublemakers when I see them. You're disrupting my entire flight with this ghetto drama. The elderly woman in 16D, Doris Albright, whispered to her husband, in my day, people knew their place. But passenger Marcus Chun in 12A felt uncomfortable. As a federal prosecutor, he recognized discrimination. He quietly activated his phone's camera, capturing Audrey's escalating aggression. Lena's live stream exploded with comments. This is racial profiling. Sue the airline. Her viewer count hit 200, then 300. Audrey grabbed Alara's tablet next. Company property stays with the crew until landing. You clearly don't understand how airlines work. She also overlooked Alara's boarding pass corner, showing Diamond Elite Lifetime status and the subtle Harvard Business School logo on her hoodie. The confrontation reached its breaking point when Alara tried once more to show her legitimate documentation. I told you to stop lying. Maybe this will teach you some respect. The slap came fast and hard. I want everyone to remember exactly what just happened here, Alara said quietly, touching her stinging cheek. Within minutes, Lena's video had been shared 47 times. Hashtag Etherwings Assault started trending. Audrey Hayes had exactly 10 minutes before her world imploded completely. She'd just assaulted her own boss, and hundreds of people had watched it happen live. Senior flight attendant Derek Williams rushed down the aisle. What's happening here? Audrey straightened defensively. This passenger was being disruptive and threatening crew safety. I had to maintain order. Marcus Chun stood up. She hit a passenger, Derek. I saw the whole thing. This woman never raised her voice or made any aggressive moves. Derek studied Alara's face, noting the visible mark. Captain Michelle Torres's voice crackled over the intercom. Flight attendants, we have airport security and federal agents waiting at Gate B7. The control tower reports multiple social media incidents involving our crew on this aircraft. Audrey's confidence cracked. Alara had been making strategic phone calls on what appeared to be a second, more sophisticated device. Her first call was brief, coded. Michael, code black, flight 808, assault on CEO. Activate crisis protocol immediately. Full legal team. Lena's viewers were connecting dots. Harvard logo. She's not just a passenger. Something big is coming. Point 4 minutes to landing. Ground control patched through with urgency. Flight 808. We need an immediate detailed incident report. Multiple passengers reporting crew assault with racial motivation. The FBI and DOT have been officially notified. Audrey turned pale, looking for support, but Gregory Sloan was pretending to sleep. Alara was methodically gathering her scattered papers. Quarterly reports, board meeting minutes, executive communications, Mark CEO, eyes only. Derek felt something shift in the cabin's power dynamic. Ma'am, could I please see your identification for our incident report? Derek asked quietly. Alara looked up, a slight smile playing at the corners of her mouth. Of course, Derek, though. I suspect you'll find it rather illuminating. 2 minutes to landing. Alara reached into her leather bag, not for a driver's license, but for a sophisticated executive identification badge. She held it high enough for every camera to capture the details clearly. Dr. Alara Vance, Chief Executive Officer, Ether Wings. Employee identification number 0001. The founder's number. The silence was deafening. Derek's clipboard clattered to the floor. Gregory Sloan's face drained of all color. That's completely impossible, Audrey stammered. The woman whose signature appears on every employment contract in this company, Alara said, devastatingly professional. The person who personally approved your salary increase of $2,400 last year. The individual who just watched you commit felony assault on federal property while 35,000 people live-streamed every second. Alara pulled out a detailed report. Today's route, Flight 808, was specifically chosen because passenger complaints on this route increased 67% in the past 6 months. I needed to understand why. Dr. Vance, I had absolutely no idea. Derek began. If you'd known what, Derek? Her question cut through his excuse. That I was the CEO? Would that have changed how any passenger should be treated? Should only executives receive basic human dignity and respect? The question hung in the air like an indictment. Alara began reading from her corporate phone. Audrey Hayes, Employee Identification 4847. Hired March 15th, 2021. Current salary $38,400 annually. You have violated multiple federal laws. USC Title 49 Section 4650 for assault aboard an aircraft and USC Title 42 Section 1981 civil rights violations. Our stock opened this morning at $47.23 per share on the New York Stock Exchange. In the 14 minutes since your assault was live-streamed, it has dropped $4.18 per share. That represents $63.7 million in market capitalization lost because of your behavior. Our customer service department has received 342 complaint calls in the past 12 minutes. Hashtag boycott Ether is trending in 17 cities. The plane touched down. Alara speed dialed her chief legal officer. Patricia, it's Alara. I need federal assault charges filed against employee 4,847 within the hour. We have multiple video evidence from different angles, witness testimony from federal prosecutor, and clear documentation of premeditated discrimination. This transcends termination. This is criminal prosecution territory. Marcus Chun stood up. Dr. Vance, I'm Assistant Federal Prosecutor Marcus Chun, Northern District of Colorado. I witnessed the entire incident. I'll be providing official testimony and coordinating with federal authorities to ensure full prosecution. Audrey finally grasped the complete magnitude of her situation as handcuffs appeared outside the aircraft windows. Dr. Vance, please. I didn't know who you were. I have 2 children. I need this job. Audrey, there's one final thing you need to understand. Alara's voice carried the finality of a federal judge. You didn't just slap a passenger. You didn't just slap your CEO. You slapped the person whose personal investment of $340 million saved this company from complete bankruptcy in 2019. I personally own 15% of every aircraft, every route, every seat in this entire fleet. Derek did the math. $38,400 annual salary against a CEO worth more than $400 million. Audrey had just assaulted someone worth more than her entire lifetime earnings on camera with federal witnesses while 60,000 people watch live. Brittany McKenzie, you're under arrest for federal assault charges. The handcuffs clicked. Agent Maria Rodriguez, FBI, and DOT Inspector James Mitchell boarded. Alara handed over a folder. This passenger, Mr. Chun, is a federal prosecutor who witnessed everything. Audrey Hayes was terminated for cause, arrested, and transported to federal detention. Her world had collapsed in less than 15 minutes. The most expensive slap in aviation history had purchased the most comprehensive civil rights reform in corporate America. Ether Wings went on to implement mandatory bias training and body cameras for all flight attendants, setting a new industry standard.